Yeah, it was A minor.
We're good.
Yeah, yeah. Couple more minutes. Oh, so you're doing E flat. Okay, okay. E flat.
Give me. Are you guys ready? Please rise in body or spirit for our opening song. Ciao, Bella.
The world is waking outside my window. Bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. Drags my senses into the sunlight, for there are things that I must do. Wish me luck now, I have to leave you. Bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. With my friends now, up to the city. We're gonna shake the gates of hell. When they go low, we must resist. Bella ciao, bella ciao, bella ciao, ciao, ciao. But I don't want to look in the mirror and find myself just like you.
Good morning. My name is Veysel Dokur. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm your service associate on this Sunday morning. I thank you all very much for coming this morning, and I would like to start with reading an official statement from Side with Love, Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Lakelands, not Lakeland, Unitarian Universalist Association of America. That's as you can see, I'm very nervous, but it will pass. We grieve the killing of Renee Nicole Good, a 37-year-old mother and legal observer, by Immigration and Customs Enforcement in Minneapolis yesterday. An act of state violence that has stolen a life and reverberates through an already wounded community. This is not an isolated incident, but the result of policies that criminalize immigration and enforce borders through fear, surveillance, and force rather than care. Side with Love is in solidarity with immigrant communities in Minneapolis and across the country who live under constant threat of detention, separation, and death at the hands of the state. We are in solidarity with the faithful masses of people showing up to build a world where the worth and dignity of all are held as sacred and unshakable truth. As people of faith and conscience, we are called to love, to tell the truth about this violence, to accompany those most impacted, and to keep organizing toward fulfilling the promise of our communities and institutions to make safety, belonging, and freedom real for all. We join many others in demanding accountability and an immediate end to ICE operations in all our communities. We invite all people of faith and conscience to grieve together, to refuse the normalization of state violence, and to commit themselves to the long work of transforming the systems that betray our deepest moral and spiritual communities. Now I invite you all for a moment of silence in honor of Renee and other lives lost in the hands of ICE. Thank you. We welcome you into this sanctuary where we celebrate diversity and learn from one another, no matter our differences, in order to deepen our connections and transform the world with love. Let us begin our service with these opening words, which the words I don't have yet, okay? So I'm sorry. Those were my words, that how sad I felt. And I'm gonna pass at this point to Athena for Call the Community.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
My name is Athena Wilson. I'm the service associate for this awesome congregation. I use the pronouns she, her. Love plus connection equals transformation. What does that mean? It means that we want you to root yourselves in love and connect with others so we can transform ourselves and this world towards harmony and beauty. I'd like to announce that we have assisted listening devices available to anyone who needs one. We'd like to extend our thanks to Jason Beedlow for getting these ready. We always need help with the hospitality team. Please sign up and see Ambra for more information. She's over there waving her hand. Forming a pledge team with Adam. If anybody is interested in joining the pledge team, I believe we're gonna start that in February? Next week. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions or if you'd like to join. Save the date for the UUCL yard sale, Saturday, March 21st, 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. Collect your items now. Deliver the donations the week of March 15th. Thank you. Next starting point sessions will start in February and March. Stay tuned for updates on that. There will be a vigil at 7 p.m. in the patio for Renee Good. Please see Waysell for details after the service. Please check the back of your order of service and our e-newsletter, which is published on Mondays, for more information on other events.
Thank you, Athena. The flaming chalice is the symbol of Unitarian Universalist faith. We light it each Sunday, as do UU churches around the world, to create a sacred place, sacred space, to connect us with one another, and to remember who we are as people of faith. This month, our month topic is resistance, building resistance. Is part of the transformation value. As we light our chalice today, let us recite together the declaration and the covenant we make to ensure that our shared Unitarian Universalist value of transformation lights up the world. Macy, would you please do us the honor of lighting our chalice while we recite the words?
We adapt to the changing world. We covenant to collectively transform and grow spiritually and ethically. Openness to change is fundamental to our Unitarian and Universalist heritages. Never complete and never perfect.
And we achieve this value, which we put in our aspiration statement also, for Polk County, a county where people of all backgrounds find belonging and interfaith collaboration fosters a more just society. And we live this aspiration by supporting the unhoused, partnering with local organizations, interfaith engagement, and civic presence. Once again, thank you, Macy, for lighting our chalice. Let us rise in body or spirit to sing in English and Spanish, hymn number 123, Spirit of Life. Spirit of life, come unto me, sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion, blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life. Now I invite all the children and young at heart to the front for messages for all ages, which Melissa, Marsha.
Good morning, everybody. All right. Is it a surprise that I'm reading the story? No? You expected that because I had the book? Yeah, usually somebody else reads our story. All right. So today, we're talking about I am we. What do you think that means? What does we mean? Kind of means the people together, right? We usually say I is just me and we is us together, right? But this is a different idea about how we can be in community. You know what that means? It's the group of us together, like in our family, our town, and our church. I Am We, a book of community. I know it's important to take care of me, to focus on my own breath, my own needs, to be kind to my mind. Sometimes I wonder, is that selfish? How does caring for myself help anyone else? But then I realize that the better I feel inside, the more I can be there for others. My friends, my family, my community. Because I do not exist alone, I'm part of something bigger than myself. And when we each take the goodness and self-compassion inside and turn it outward, how we build, create, learn, and show love, how we care for each other affects the world. I am more than me. I am we. Can we help take care of other people? Maybe. They're playing with the cat. When there are challenges and struggles, I can check on you. You can check on me. We can create a safety net so no one falls. Oh, that's what it is. It's a safety net. The cat fall. Yeah. When there is hurtfulness and inequality, we can stand up for each other. We can sit, gather, march, sing, vote, stronger in numbers, louder in voices as we call for justice. When there are differences in the thoughts and opinions, we can have a conversation, listening, disagreeing, and agreeing with gentleness, finding the right solution for all of us. When there is shyness and a feeling of not belonging, we can be the welcoming committee, interested and thoughtful, making sure there is a place for everyone. The cat is running to the girl. Oh, yes, it is. It liked being rescued. When there are problems to be solved with creativity, I can share my talents and you can share yours. We can combine our skills and ideas to dream up something spectacular. When there are good times, successes, and joys, we can celebrate, show our excitement and pride, and encourage each other to keep on rising. Connection is how I grow. Connection is how we grow. Connected is what we are. Part of a worldwide community, diverse and magnificent, kind and accepting, supportive and present, all of us important, none of us alone. I am not just me. I am we. And if we put our heads and our hearts together, if we keep on caring for ourselves and each other, everything is possible. That's the end. What do you think of that? Sounds pretty cool, right? And they've turned into frogs, so I think at that point we will go outside.
Thank you, Melissa, and children. If they would like to put 1 or 2 stones in the water, they're welcome to do so. Thank you again.
Here we gather, tucked back in this friendly neighborhood between the beautiful tall pines. We are a small church with big aspirations. We can achieve those aspirations if everyone gives of their time, talents, and treasures. Our shared Unitarian Universalist value of generosity calls us to be faithful UUs by covenanting with one another to freely and compassionately share our presence and resources. This is the time in our Sunday service where we are given the opportunity to share. Today, the ushers will pass the plates for our collection as you help to support this church community and make it a place for all of us to learn and to grow. Please help us grow into the dreams we have for UUCL and as our ushers pass around, as we have for UUCL, as our ushers pass around the plate for our collection.
Thank you. I just need a moment. Our ritual of sharing joys of sorrows is a prayerful time in which we listen to our hearts, minds. I'm sorry, I needed a moment because I would like to invite Athena to light our healing candle while I read these words. Our ritual of sharing joys and sorrows is a prayerful time in which we listen to our hearts, minds, bodies, and souls to discern what is we need in this moment of healing. This ritual allows us to connect our lives and deepen our faith in the understanding that we belong to one another. We are here to care for each other, and through caring, we illuminate the beauty of our interdependence. In our Joys and Sorrows book, you are able to write any significant joy or sorrow occurring in your life that you would like to share with the congregation. Today, we have two. That's from me. I just wrote, "Rest in peace, Renee and Nicole Good." And I have something to read about it also. Then a concern. Marcia, our longtime member and editor of our newsletter, is not doing well. Please keep her in your thoughts. Please, I'm concerned. From Dorothy. Thank you, Dorothy. Yes, please keep Marcia Bergen in your prayers, thoughts, and that she does better. And before my emotions are going all around, and this is something a friend of mine, Alexis, wrote and presented during the vigil Friday night that was held at the Mon Park. So I would like to read that. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up when it would be easier to stay home. Thank you for refusing to look away. I want to acknowledge that so many of you standing here today are legal observers for Polk County. You are people who show up not to escalate, not to provoke, but to witness, to document truth, to protect constitutional rights, to make sure that power is not allowed to operate in darkness. And that is why this hurts so deeply, why this feels personal and visceral. It is impossible not to put ourselves in Renee Nicole Good's place. Renee was doing what so many of you have done. She was doing what any decent person would want to do, trying to keep her neighbors safe, trying to stand between families and the cruelty of being torn apart without due process, trying to protect people from a system that treats human beings like problems to be removed. That is what ICE is doing. They are tearing families apart without due process. They are criminalizing presence. They are using fear as policy and force as their first response. Renee Nicole Good did not have to die. She was exercising her constitutional rights, the same rights that are supposed to protect all of us: right to observe, right to speak, right to stand in solidarity with vulnerable communities. She was doing exactly what this country should honor, not punish. And for that, for showing up, for loving her neighbors, for refusing silence, ICE killed her. Let us be clear. This was not an accident or unfortunate outcome. It was the result of an agency with unchecked power and a federal government that defends it instead of demanding accountability. And then just 2 days later, federal immigrant agents once again shot at civilians in Portland, Oregon. This time, 2 people were wounded, adding to a pattern of violence and raising the question: how many more people must be hurt before this stops? Across the country, federal immigration enforcement has escalated into shooting people on our streets. Not border zones, not in remote deserts, but in cities where communities live, work, raise kids, and try to care for another. Renee was not a threat. She was a protector. She was a mother. She was a neighbor. And when she was injured, when there was still time, a skilled bystander tried to render first aid. They were blocked. They were pushed back. They were prevented from saving a life. ICE did not allow aid. They chose force over compassion. They chose control over human life. Because of that choice, a child will never again be picked up from school by their mother. A child will never hear that a voice say, "Dinner is ready." A home that once held laughter now holds absence. ICE should be condemned for what they did. The federal government should be condemned for its complicity and defense of this violence. And anyone who treats it as exaggerated or imaginary should be condemned for their moral failure. Renee should be alive today. Her child should still have their mother. And until there is real accountability, transparent investigations, consequences, and meaningful change, we will keep her story alive, because forgetting her would be the final injustice. Renee Nicole Good deserved to live. Thank you. I invite you all come forward for your, our ritual of putting a stone in the bowl for your joys and sorrows. Thank you for letting me read this. Thank you, everyone. And Athena, would you? Athena, would you please also put stones in for people who may be in Zoom or watching us online on YouTube or Facebook? Thank you, everyone, for sharing your joys and sorrows with us. And earlier, I missed a slide that's really important, that we have slide that remind us you're not alone. Let's repeat this. We're holding it together. Thank you. Now, for centering a reading. It's actually a prayer for communities practicing many forms of resistance by Reverend Michelle Collins. Spirit of connections and love, bless the many ways we resist. Those who march and organize, those who cook, donate, and write, those who tend the weary, those who pray, hold vigil, those who say, rest now, I will take this shift. Let this white circle honor every offering, visible or unseen. May we release the myths that define resistance in certain ways, and remember instead the truth of shared power. May this be our prayer to sustain one another's courage until quiet faith and public fire become one movement of love. As part of our message, practicing resistance and partnering with local organizations, we are introducing Indivisible Polk, which I'll have some slides on the screen. And most of you heard, some of you are members, Indivisible Polk Florida, Inc. This is, our website is, indivisiblepolk.com. We have Facebook page and other social media. I may read the slides, I may not read the slides, and we have partnered as UUCL, different direct action events. And Indivisible is a national movement that started during the first administration of the, and then since then they have done several nationwide actions, independent, locally led groups, and the main thing is, of course, advocating for progressive policies and change and making the promise of democracy real for all of us. It is a people power organization, not a single person or a party. A dedicated group of people from every walks of life and believing in the possibility of change and working to make it happen. If we don't do it, no one else does it. I'm just gonna, maybe they're having a hard time following me. Indivisible Polk Florida is a nonprofit organization registered in Florida, and we also filed our intention to run as 501c4 nonprofit and tax-exempt community organization with the IRS. And our group is a growing progressive movement. When I keep saying our group, because I'm now representing the Indivisible Polk Florida as a guest speaker. We have other guest speakers representing, and presenting different activities. And some of you, again, have been these direct action events, like Hands Off, May Day, Good Travel Leave Zone. The most known is No Kings. It pulled out a lot of people to the streets, but it's just a part of the work because we need to get people to go to the county, city, town commissioner meetings, school board meetings, and we did some of it, but they need to be done also, more and more. And building alliances with community coalitions. In that sense, as a Unitarian Universalist, I and we all welcome them. We took part again with alliances with them, and there is more work to be done. I am just gonna keep moving forward. Let's see, where is there? Another important part is the values. Indivisible polk actually embraces, both national indivisible principles, values, also national 50-51 movement values, because those top three are kind of similar to what our values are as UUs. Commitment to inclusivity, fostering an inclusive environment where everyone feels valued, respected, and empowered to contribute. Continuous learning, open dialogue, and create a space where all individuals can thrive. Inclusivity is not inviting someone to the table. It is building a table together. This is an important factor to keep in mind. The other one is, of course, commitment to nonviolence and commitment to conflict resolution. Same as we do here in the UU. We have our right relationship team that helps us resolve our conflicts so we can keep coming back to covenant and build our relationships. Some statistics to share, some of the events, some numbers, how people come. I'm not going to go over these numbers. I want to leave some time to other presenters. And the important part is nationwide, this movement is growing, and there is a concept called 3.5% people in dissent continuously, not just showing for the protests in the streets and stuff, but taking action, reaching our elected officials, keeping them accountable, and forcing policy changes, 3.5% of the nation. I don't remember the number, but nationally it started these events like first hands of around 3.5 million people, and then No Kings event. I don't remember the numbers, I'm too nervous to remember them, but where I'm going is like it is growing, more and more people, and sustaining that grassroots movement is key to make change happen. Some photos were like you have seen, this is from June 14 No Kings event, that Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Lakeland was one of the partners. And our own member, Nikki, she gave a great speech there, and she got national, international recognition. And her problems also, she's on the road today with Jason Bidlove and Nikki McCarthy, but she is one of our fighters. Oops, some pictures. And at the end, before I say like, No Kings event turned into an alliance around 270 national organizations and build a rapid response, become the rapid response arm of the movement. And one of the things they've been regularly doing, which we are part of, is mutual aid. And another thing Indivisible Polk doing is for the immigration, our neighbors is Polk Ray's Legal Observers Group. I'm gonna end my present here, and I'm gonna invite Pam Taylor. She will introduce us Pam, if you could please come over here. You're not alone.
We are holding it in.
I think if you want your slides, I have them here.
Okay, I change it there.
It will go up there, that's for you.
Hi, my name is Pam Taylor, and I'm the organizer for the legal observers in Polk County. Legal observers observe and document what is happening with the immigration enforcement. Okay. We do not interfere with anything. We only document and observe what is happening. Since August, our Polk County Sheriff Department has had 562 encounters. That is about 100. Oh, I'm short. Yes, I am. That is about 100 a month. And that is, I took that off of their website. You can pull up that data from their website. The Polk County Sheriff Department routinely pulls over cars that have a lot of Hispanics in them, and they will ask for IDs for everyone in the car. And if they do not have the correct documentation, that's when they pull them in and they arrest them or they hold them for ICE. So the ACLU came up with a statewide hotline that we're trying to get everyone to use. And you can call the hotline to report any ICE or immigration enforcement activity. You can call it to request free legal consultation or support in preparation or accompaniment to upcoming immigration appointments at the immigration court. The hotline is staffed Monday through Friday from 7 to 7 and Saturday and Sunday from 9 till 6. We have flyers in 4 different languages, and we have Know Your Rights cards that we try to distribute. The legal observers, okay. It didn't change. Yeah, it did, okay. So, when the hotline is called, the ACLU dispatcher takes the initial intake request. Then they send it to an on-call coordinator for legal observers, and for Polk County, most likely that would be me. The coordinator sends out a message to legal observers, and if they are available, they go to the site to verify ICE, observe and document actions and conditions, and then submit a report to the ACLU. The goals are to verify ICE and track enforcement and violations by the ICE and other authorities, collect information to support legal responders for follow-up contact with affected individuals. If you are interested in helping our immigrants and being a legal observer, there is a 1-hour Zoom class for you to take that's conducted through the ACLU. You can contact me at this email that's up there. We are distributing flyers later this month on the 31st in some neighborhoods in Mulberry, and we do need volunteers to help us distribute flyers. I also have a little card here that will be on the table outside, and it has my cell phone number, it has my email here, this email. If you are interested in becoming a legal observer, usually I call and talk to you a little bit about it before I send you the information to sign up for the Zoom call. So if you're interested, please pick up a card. We have several legal observers here. So if you're interested, hi Jen. You can talk to them as well. Are there any questions? Okay. I'm going to introduce Cindy. Is she the next one up?
Thank you, Pam. I need to pull the slides for Cindy. I'll take them. There are not many, 6 of them. And you can slide them like this. They're going to show up over there, but like this.
Good morning. I'm Cindy Wolf. Thank you for having me today. I could talk about this all day long, mutual aid, but I'm going to try in about 3 minutes to tell you what mutual aid is, why it's important to the resistance, and what it looks like here in Lakeland from my experience. Mutual aid shows communities have the ability to care for themselves and each other. It is not a goal in and of itself. It's a means to mobilize, politicize, and build power. It fosters solidarity and collective capacity. It meets the needs and challenges of systemic injustices, and it shifts the message from charity, which is power over, here's this thing I'm doing for you, to solidarity. We have power together when no one is in need. I'm sorry, I'm terrible with the slides. What it looks like, thank you. What it looks like here, for about 5 years, I've been involved with 2 different groups who meet in Munn Park to provide meals and hygiene supplies and other necessities to our unhoused neighbors who gather in Munn Park pretty much every day. I have actually run into Ken and Dorothy there doing their thing for that community, and we get some pushback there. People don't necessarily like that we're doing it there. I had a woman walk up to me and say, "Thank you for what you're doing here, but this isn't the place to do it." And I said, "I agree with you completely. Where would you recommend that we do this?" She didn't have a response to that, and we are still there. So there are other things other than those shares, although that is my personal favorite and the thing that most fills my cup. We also at one time had a free fridge and pantry here in Lakeland over near Southwest Middle School, and it was a bring what you can, leave what you can, take what you need. It's not there anymore, and it was moved but has been decommissioned for the time being. There is a little pantry that Indivisible Polk has put up at the Kitty Cat Lounge on Orange Street, and that is getting some activity now, give and take. Even your free little library that I noticed out front is a form of mutual aid. At our Indivisible events, we have been collecting, putting out a table, people bring, and other people come along and say, "Oh, I could really use this, may I have that?" And the answer is yes. Charity requires people to prove need. Mutual aid trusts people to bring and share what they can and to take only what they need and then to leave items behind for other people to share as well. Wednesdays, 10:30 a.m. in Munn Park. Sundays, 11:30 a.m. in Munn Park. And I'm going to stay for a little while afterwards. If you want to hear me talk ad nauseum about it, come talk to me. Dorothy.
Have the police said anything to you?
They have. They come up with ridiculous reasons why we shouldn't be there. The fact that we're there is bringing this unwelcome group of people, and our response to that is, no, we're not bringing them here. We're here because this is where these people who need our help already are. In my opinion, if the city would provide a place for them to gather, then that's where we would go. But like I said, I could talk about this forever. If you want to hear about the arguments we've had with the city, I would be delighted to tell you exactly what I think about that. Thank you again for having me. And now I'm going to turn it over to Athena.
Thank you to all of the speakers today, and to Waysell and this amazing congregation for allowing me the time to introduce Defund Oligarchy, Blessed by Liberty. I always call this group a tiny but mighty, hold on, sorry. I call this group a tiny but mighty, as we're a small core group of 4 folks, sometimes 5. But we have done so much since the first demonstration back in February of 2025. Since its beginning, we have helped organize several large-scale demonstrations, including Hands Off, May Day Strong, and both No Kings events. Each month, we hold a Stop Avello, Abolish ICE protest in front of Lakeside Village. We recently had to change this name to just Abolish ICE, since Avello announced that they are firing DHS. In addition to fighting for human rights, Defund Oligarchy advocates for the unique environment of Polk County. Our county has a plant known as the blushing scrub bomb that is only grown in Polk County. A plant unique to us is federally endangered. Look it up. We've protested the recent Polk Parkway expansion as we fear continued development puts this threatened species in even more danger, as there will be less opportune places for it to thrive. We provide ways to reach out to your county's elected officials and the developers. We have an ongoing mutual aid effort for a small community of unhoused folks that we call Virgil's Village. Our members go to clean, check on, and provide resources to the people residing there. This community has been threatened by the county due to environmental concerns. We're facilitating a GoFundMe to build a well for them so they can have running water. Information about our efforts can be found on our website, blessedbyliberty.org. I believe that this group has many shared values with Unitarian Universalism, interdependence, relying on each other through coalition building and mutual aid, equity, advocating for human and environmental rights, transformation, helping to make Florida a safe and open space by embracing dialogues, pluralism, interfaith members, coalition building, justice, peaceful demonstrations that bring awareness to injustice, generosity, donating our time, money, and resources, with, of course, love at the center for our city, county, state, and country. I have a slide that has the contact info for them. But you can follow us on Instagram at Defund Oligarchy. You can follow us on TikTok at Defund Oligarchy FL. You can join our Facebook group, which is Defund Oligarchy, Blessed by Liberty, Polk, Florida. Or you can go to our website and sign up for our email newsletter at blessedbyliberty.org. Thank you so much for allowing me this opportunity to share this lovely group. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you.
Thank you, Athena, Cindy, and Pam. Looks like there was a hiccup. We were supposed to have 3 slides for Athena. We're gonna get them for you, as at least in the newsletter or next week's maybe print out. So I apologize, Athena. Before the closing song, yes, we're almost there. Today is a potluck lunch, so I know you're all hungry. I am hungry. There are a lot of delicious food out there, and before the song, I want to read our anchor slide, the quote. One of the most vital ways we sustain ourselves is building communities of resistance. places where we know we are not alone. Remember, you are not alone. We are not alone. With that, our closing song, Revolution by Beatles. Hit it.
Before I start playing, I want to let y'all know my emotions are running high this week. After the events of what happened to Renee Nicole Good, it's been making me rethink if there should be afterlife for some people.
And after go ahead.
We need a spiritual and institutional revolution. And here's the thing, guys. We can't just be allies no more. The reason I ain't talking into this mic is because I don't want to be legally liable what I'm about to say, okay? So what I'm going to say is we have to be accomplices for each other, the same way Renee Good was, okay? If you see those people out there terrorizing, antagonizing your neighbors, slash their tires, do something about it. We can't just stand by here no more and take it. They don't care about our rights. Okay, so I'm about to get started, y'all. So if y'all know how this song goes, I want y'all to scream loud as hell.
I want to
Yes.
say a word for Renee Good. My brother is a reserve police officer. He said that officer, when he stood in front of that car, he broke police rules.
Yes,
We
sir.
need police that follow rules. We need police, but they have to follow rules. When he stood in front
Give me
of
a
that
minute.
car, he broke his training, and when he fired into a moving car, he broke the rules. So
Thank-
it's a case of whether police follow the rules or not.
I'm not
Thank-
advocating.
hold up.
I'm not advocating for adventurism, but we have to be coordinators. Yes.
Yeah. Emotions are high, and I once again invite you all to come here tonight at 7 o'clock for the vigil that we share our feelings and honor Renee and other people who lost their lives for ICE. So with that, Kermit, let's do this afterwards. Come on.
All right.
Go. Go ahead, quickly.
All right. Well, let's talk after. But hey, if you all know this song, I want y'all to scream loud as hell in the intro. You say you want a revolution. Well, you know, we all want to change the world. You tell me that it's evolution. Well, you know, we all want to change the world. But when you talk about destruction, don't you know that you can count me out? Don't you know it's gonna be alright? Don't you know it's gonna be alright? Don't you know it's gonna be alright? You say you want a real solution. Well, you know, we all want it. You ask me for a contribution. Well, you know, we're all doing what we can. But if you want money for people that minds that, hey, all I can tell you, brothers, you have to wait. Don't you know it's gonna be alright? Don't you know it's gonna be alright? Don't you know it's gonna be alright? You say you'll change the Constitution. Well, you know, we all want to change the head. You tell me it's the institutions. Well, you know, you better free your mind instead. But if you're carrying pictures of Taco Man, don't you know he's gonna... Don't you know it's gonna be alright? Don't you know it's gonna be alright? Don't you know it's gonna be alright? Take it away, Schwa. Don't you know it's gonna be all right? Don't you know it's gonna be all right? Come on, sing along. So go speed. All right.
Thank you, Isaiah and Joshua. And Kermit, we would like to hear from you. Please, go ahead.
Okay. I'm an old guy. Right after the assassination in Memphis, I was in the school district there, helping those people, and we had to get the blacks and the whites together for the first time. We did that. We tried it. We had to sit down with the Ku Klux Klan and negotiate with those guys. And we did it in churches. And we brought people in from all over the country to make sure this went well and easy. And it did. And it took us 3 years to get that school district put together with the blacks and the whites all in the same school. And guess what? It worked. All I'm saying is, it'll work out right. It just takes time, and don't get too excited. Just work toward
Keep.
greatness that's in all of our hearts.
Thank you, Kermit. Yes. Macy, would you please extinguish our chalice while we read our chalice extinguishing verbs? We extinguish this chalice, but not the light of truth, the warmth of love, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts and out into the world. And remember, you're loved, you're worthy, and you're a blessing. We have the potluck lunch in the social hall and a vigil tonight at 7. Thank you again for coming, and we'll see you at the social hall.